School said boys will be boys when a bully hurt my daughter, so I showed them what happens when fathers will be fathers. I was in my home office when I heard my daughter cutting herself in her bedroom. When I walked in, she was surrounded by chunks of her blonde hair with tears streaming down her face. I knelt down and gently took the scissors from her. She looked at me with those big blue eyes and whispered, maybe now he'll leave me alone. Amelia wouldn't tell me much that night. She just kept saying it didn't matter anymore and went to bed with her hair all uneven and choppy. I spent the next 3 days trying to get information out of her. She barely touched her breakfast and picked at her dinners. When I called her teacher Ms. Peterson, she actually laughed at my concern. Oh, you mean Archie Morrison? He has the biggest crush on Amelia. It's adorable how he follows her around like a puppy. Boys that age just don't know how to express their feelings properly. Something about the way she said, follows her around, made my stomach turn. I didn't know how to bring it up to Amelia, and luckily, I didn't have to, because as soon as she got home, she completely broke down. Turns out, Archie had been calling her Goldilocks Beach every single day, getting the whole class to chant it during recess. He'd been cornering her in empty hallways and demanding hugs. Last week, he grabbed her face and forced her to look at him saying, when I talk to you, you look at me. I'm only hurting you because that's what people do when they're in love. I was furious. The school kept brushing it off as puppy love, so I told Amelia to stand up for herself, to yell loudly next time he touched her so teachers would have to pay attention. Sometimes I wonder how different things would have been if I just kept quiet, because the next day, Amelia came home with bruises on her wrists and her shirt torn at the collar. You see, she'd yelled at Archie to leave her alone in front of everyone. The teacher had made her apologize to him for hurting his feelings and making a scene, and as if that wasn't enough, he cornered her after school with 3 of his friends to teach her a lesson. My dad says girls play hard to get, but they really want it. You embarrassed me, so now we're even. Tomorrow I'll show you what real love feels like, he said. Amelia collapsed against me, and I rubbed her back like when she was little, whispering that she was safe now while my hands were trembling with rage. And that night, I drove straight to Archie's house. His dad answered the door in a suit that probably cost more than my monthly salary. Your son has been bullying my daughter. Oh, that's not what I heard, he interrupted, with a smirk plastered on his face. Archie told me your W-word daughter has been sending mixed signals, leading him on, then publicly rejecting him. I should have beat him to a pulp, but I didn't, because when I looked behind him, I noticed his wife standing there with a bruise on her cheek. Mark immediately grabbed her waist and pulled her close. Linda understands how relationships work. 20 years of marriage because she knows that when we get violent, it's because I love her too much to let go. That's when I knew Archie was just following in his dad's footsteps, and soon I'd make them both pay. I left their house with my hands still shaking. The drive home took forever because I kept pulling over to calm down. When I got back, Amelia was already asleep, her choppy hair spread across the pillow like broken wings. The next morning, I grabbed my phone and started taking pictures of her bruised wrists. She flinched when I touched them gently to get better angles. I documented every mark, every torn piece of clothing. Then I went through her backpack while she ate breakfast and found crumpled notes shoved deep in the front pocket. My stomach dropped as I read them. You're mine, written over and over in messy handwriting. Stop ignoring me or else. One had a crude drawing of a girl with X's over her eyes. I spread everything out on the kitchen table and took more photos. Amelia watched me silently, pushing cereal around her bowl. When I asked if there were any text messages, she shook her head, but wouldn't meet my eyes. Something told me there was more she wasn't sharing yet. That afternoon, the principal called. Not about Archie, but about Amelia. Mr. Thompson, I'm concerned about your daughter's behavior. She's been very disruptive lately, seeking negative attention. Have you considered counseling? Sometimes children act out when they're struggling at home. I gripped the phone so hard my knuckles went white.